Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your October 2020 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Oh, I love this. I was going to joke and say, have I told you yet that I'm a Sun in Sagittarius? Because I had somebody, I don't know if it was a Sag, who says, yeah, we know you're a Sag. I'm going to pick an additional card. Okay, I'm leaving it right here. And I can also sense this in my own life with the Death card, because of some of you may as well sense certain things. First of all, I was kind of laughing because the top row are all major arcana cards, which can suggest more significant events within this month of October. And then I also got the Death card as an additional card because of the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Wands. I didn't want to end it there. I felt that there was another card that needed to be drawn. So the heart of the matter is the Strength card, and this is a card connected to Leo, hence the lion, I'm sure. And the Strength card, to me, is a card of having to endure something. So while it is showing strength, and it could be physical strength if you've had any kind of health matter, maybe you start feeling stronger physically, or health, when I say health, it could also be just like in your body, if you had any weakness physically in some way, that you feel physically stronger, mentally stronger, or emotionally stronger. Spiritual, emotional, same thing to me. That kind of thing. So whatever that could mean for you. But what this always tells me is that leading up to this, there may have been something that made you feel less strong, like you were having to fight off a certain feeling, a certain situation, and you kind of were hanging tough, and now you can feel that sense that your confidence may have been restored, or you had the confidence to begin with, and that allowed you to endure a certain situation. So I look at the past position. We have the Chariot card. This card is connected to Cancer. So if there's a Cancer person in your life who may have been challenging, that you were able to kind of conquer that challenge in some way. But as a card, this is a card of victory. The dualism of the black and white horses can mean that you did not allow competing forces to kind of do you in, to get you to give up on something, or to feel discouraged about something you hung tight, if that's the proper grammar, and that allowed you to kind of weather this storm. Because to me, the black and white symbolizes these two extremes, or these two situations that may have arisen that were threatening to distract you from your purpose. So there may have been a lot going on pulling you in different directions, kind of like these horses, and you did not allow that to happen. And this is kind of like, I think for Sagittarius, this is kind of a major victory, because we tend to be sometimes we can be scattered, because we're a mutable sign and we're a fire sign, and we're very, enthusiastic about life in general, but sometimes having irons in different fires and not necessarily being one-pointed. So I associate one-pointedness with the chariot. Also, the chariot can be about travel, or a vehicle or something like that, and something that I was trying to think, like, yeah, is it travel? Maybe I'm trying to think of how that would relate to strength. Perhaps building up your legs to be able to walk if you were relying on other types of transportation before. But just in general, having that fortitude to weather some type of a storm. The higher message is the Fool card. Now, I personally think that this is kind of a sign of things to come, because over the summer, in June, we had a lunar eclipse in Sag, and that was the first eclipse in this cycle of Sag and Gemini eclipses. And in December 14th to be exact, we're going to have a solar eclipse. And I feel that this is going to be the point where Sag begins their new journey. So this is a 0 point, and so it's preparing you. These kinds of things that are transpiring now, Sag, preparing you for a new cycle in your life. And it's not surprising to me that this is the card of the challenge card, the Queen of Swords, because it may be challenging for Sages to not get emotionally mixed up in some of the things that are going on, because we've already had eclipses in Sag, in Sag, and we're going to have one in Gemini in late November. So we're starting to see. We're also having, the South Node is in Sag, so that's karmic in nature. How do we navigate that? How do we navigate these kinds of influences? We have to stay detached. And I'm realizing more and more that we are very emotional. In my own personal chart, I don't have personal planets in water, but I am an emotional person. And I was trying to figure it out. I have a lot of earth in personal points. I'm like, why am I emotional? But it's, it's about Chiron. It's about things like that. When you have personal planets like the sun and moon in water houses, that can make you more emotional too. So you have to see your chart if you're like me and that is something you can't figure out. But I'll tell you that fire signs are emotional. They just are not the same as water signs. They have their own way that they're very reactive, we'll put it that way. Not necessarily emo in the same sense. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just how I see it. So being able to navigate some of the things that are going on without feeling this sense of being pulled in one direction or the other. And that's how I see the Chariot card, is that, and that's really what meditation, that is the ultimate purpose, is to achieve equanimity, or at least one of the major purposes, achieving equanimity, which means that no matter what you're dealing with, you don't lose your cool, you don't lose your focus. And that may be difficult for some of us, because we do tend to be passionate about life. Being passionate can sometimes mean, feeling things at the ultimate level. I don't apologize for that. I don't want to go through life like a zombie, or somebody that has like the Four of Cups, where I'm just kind of numbing out. I want to have passion for life. Yeah, isn't there a song by Iggy Pop? I'm not a big Iggy Pop expert, but I think called Lust for Life. And I think that came from Van Gogh. Now, Van Gogh, if that was Van Gogh, I don't know. But Van Gogh is an Aries. Iggy Pop, I think, is an Aries. Fire energy. Fire energy is about enthusiasm. I think we tend to specialize in that, and we shouldn't have to apologize for it, but don't let it get in the way of being able to make decisions not in kind of a full of drama. And maybe that's another thing, is that there's some decision that you need to make that has been very difficult to make. What is coming in is represented by the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card that can be, depending on where you stand on the spectrum, for those people that feel like they are in need of financial independence. Maybe you make money, but you don't make enough to survive on your own or to support yourself. That might be your immediate goal in the month of October, to find whether it's a second job, starting your own business, that kind of thing. You feel like, I need to make more money. I need to stand on my own 2 feet. And the Strength card might be that opening, kind of like understanding. I feel like by the time December rolls around and that solar eclipse happens, that Sagittarius will start to feel that they are embarking on a whole new journey. And one of the cards I picked as the outcome card, one thing I wanted to say, for some of you, the Nine of Pentacles is saying you have financial independence. So this thing that you may be feeling like is a hard decision to make, you're making that, you're kind of like characterizing that. It's not necessarily how it truly is for you. And so I'm not saying that you're lying to yourself, but you may be, well, how about gilding the lily to yourself, where you just have this sense of like, I can't do this, but it's really because you're afraid to do it. And you need to have more, I don't know if I'd say faith, or not needing to know everything in advance and being able to, the Fool is going off on this new adventure. And the Fool doesn't know what, where it's going to take him or her, There's no knowledge, and they don't care. They would rather have a new adventure than to not have that new thing. The outcome is the Nine of Wands. And this can be kind of, to me, a self-protective card. There may be somebody in your life, and perhaps the Queen of Swords, it can even be like a mother figure who has a very sharp tongue, who is trying to thwart you when it comes to your freedom. And you may have to set boundaries with such a person. Or if this is a boss, and perhaps you have already endured something in the workplace, and that boss may be a nasty piece of work, to be honest with you. Whenever I see queens and kings, I think of authority figures, whether it's parents or bosses, people that have some kind of sway over you, or are trying to have sway over you. Because if it's a parent and you're an adult, ostensibly you're on your own. But for the people, maybe Nine of Pentacles is that you have a mother who's trying to control you, but you are not financially independent. So you have to get out from under. You have to get out of that nest in order to really call your own shots. And it's not to say that parent is right for doing that, but it's just a fact of life, is that You know, this person may be a narcissist and they are using by any means necessary to keep you under their thumb. And you have to be the one to decide that you're not going to put up with that anymore. And then we have here the Death card. So I picked an additional card because I felt like the Nine of Wands, it could even be like saying this is how you have to deal with the situation. You have to have very strong boundaries. And so we have with the Strength card this idea of, being strong, which can also be in your ideas of knowing, hey, I have rights in this world. I have the right to be my own person. And yet understanding that something has ended, that you're ending a chapter in your life. If you have left somebody and maybe the Strength card is showing that you had the confidence to leave a situation, maybe it's a Cancer, I don't know, person. The Nine of Wands can be watch out. This person may try to come back. These people, especially the narcissists, they have a tendency to come back when you are strong. And I think of that song, what was that disco song? I Will Survive. And she says something, I can't, yeah, like in the chorus, I can't think of the line. You probably know what I'm talking about. Like I was weak and now I'm strong and now you're coming back, I can't think of the line. But in any case, that kind of thing, that's when these types of people tend to do that, because they know that they are losing control. They're like, it's slipping out of their hands. So that's when they have to kind of come back into the picture. So the Death card to me is the death of an illusion, where you're no longer hoping that somebody comes back because you don't want them anymore. If this is if this is dealing with a parent, especially a mother, knowing that this person is trying to thwart you and you're not going to fall for their, claiming that they're innocent and stuff like that. You see what's going on. Or a boss who is acting like they're acting in your best interests. Sometimes, seeing that you have the chariot, I mean, it might be a situation at work where you got the promotion over somebody else, and this other person, maybe they got demoted, or they feel like it's a demotion because you have equal authority, and that somehow strikes a blow to their self-esteem. That's their issue. That's not your problem, and you don't have to take that on as something that is that you have to apologize for. So in any case, I hope that you enjoyed this, Sag. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.